I am afraid of people knowing that I'm on self improvement. I relate to this feeling a lot. I lived through it, and I must tell you that it's not pleasant to constantly be afraid that someone will find out who you are, they will know that you're on self improvement. It's like this feeling of shame you have when you're doing something which you know you shouldn't be doing, but you're doing it anyway, and you're afraid that someone will catch it. You're afraid of being caught in this bad behavior. Except that in this circumstance, it's constant. It's always there with you because you believe that it's something wrong with you. You believe that you are the problem, that you are wrong. So you're ashamed of yourself instead of this thing because in a normal circumstance, when we're doing something wrong, we associate the shame with that activity. And when we leave, we stop doing that thing, the shame leaves us. But here, you believe that you're wrong. I believe that I was wrong, that I am a problem, that there's something wrong with me. And this wears you out because it keeps telling your body these signals that there's something wrong, there's something bad going on. Why am I ashamed all the time? And that just reinforces this negative loop, and it really wears you out. It's gonna make you burn out. It's not gonna be in any way good for you. You can't handle that long term. So this feeling, we need to get rid of it. You're afraid of people finding out your own self-improvement. Why are you afraid of that? We need to first figure out that you cannot really be afraid of this because, okay, what can you actually practically do to stop being afraid of people finding out who you are? The advice I would give would be to associate an experience where someone find out who you were, someone realized that you were on self-improvement. Maybe you said what you would do on your free time, and it didn't actually turn out that bad. It was actually a positive experience. They accepted you, or it wasn't actually that bad, or that it went fine. If you have such an experience, you can build off of that and realize that maybe the things that you believe, the beliefs that you hold, that there's something wrong with you, that you set these limitations on yourself, that maybe that's wrong. And then what you can do is that you can just try to forget everything you know. You don't have these presumptions that when I say that I'm on self-improvement, I get judged. Because that's what you believe. That's the belief you have, that people will judge you. Because you judge yourself, maybe you judge others. So you believe that you will be judged for who you are. So forget about that. Forget about the beliefs you have. Be like reborn, like a new baby. He doesn't think, he just does. He does again. He keeps going. He pushes the limitations to see where he can go. So just like him, turn your brain off and just do the thing, okay? Just say who you are. Don't be afraid. Don't think. And that's gonna keep building off, and you're gonna see that, oh, maybe I was wrong. People don't actually judge me for who I am. There's going to be people who judge you, and unfortunately, maybe you had such an experience when you were younger, but realize that that doesn't have to be shape who you are now, okay? You can change that. And if you don't have any experience, maybe you've never told someone who you were, and they've never you've never had this positive experience, then it's gonna be way harder for you. But try to just turn your brain off. That's the advice, and just do, okay? Keep going. Secondly, we need to tackle this shame that you have, because you shouldn't be ashamed of who you are in the first place, okay? Because now, okay, you realize that I can just tell people who I am, people will find out, and it's gonna be fine. But why are you even ashamed of who you are? Okay? Realize that you cannot base that on anything meaningful. There's no meaningful evidence to show that you're worthless, that people will judge you for who you are. And if you go out there and you keep telling people who you are, you're just yourself, and people don't like it, then they can fuck off. I shouldn't swear, sorry. Then they can just go away. But if you either you say who you are and they like you, that's it. You shouldn't be so worried about what other people will think about you. You cannot be so worried that what others will think. That's gonna hold you back, okay? So don't be ashamed of who you are. Like, you are a good person, and if people don't like you, don't worry about it. Okay, so because God made you in this way, He put you in this situation and He made you this way. Work with it and not against Him. Embrace yourself, okay? But you might say, like, oh no, but I wish I was someone else. I wish I was this person who was like this, in this different environment, in this situation. He seems to have it so good. No, I tell you, don't wish to be someone other than who you are. Because God made you this way. He wants you to be this way. And you don't need to know everything. You don't need to know why He put you here. But you need to trust Him. You need to think that He knows what's best for you. So that you don't wish to be someone else. That's the worst thing you can do, because then you're running away from yourself in fear, in shame. You're ashamed of this situation you're in. You're ashamed of who you are. Never, because God made you this way. Embrace it. Trust Him. Love that He made you this way. Okay? So instead of wishing that you're gonna be this different person, have faith that you're exactly where you need to be, okay? And then you're not gonna be as afraid when someone says that you're wrong, or thinking that you're wrong, or that you think you're wrong, because you don't know. You're where you're meant to be. God made you here, okay? So we talked about how you can tell others who you are, and they're not gonna judge you most of the time. You're gonna be completely fine, actually. And you realize that you cannot base the shame on anything meaningful, because you are a good person, created in the image of God, and He made you this way. So don't be ashamed, don't wish to be someone else. But you still feel out of place. You feel like you don't belong. Even though, okay, it's like you accept who you are, you still don't belong. You feel like outside of everything else. So I'm gonna tell you something which really helped me, which one of the leaders at my Bible study group told me, or everyone there. This is what he said. He said that we're meant to be different. We shouldn't be like everybody else. We're here to show the way for others who are led astray, and that we have an important duty and responsibility given by God to tell the others. So this isn't actually even about you. You have a duty given to you by God. You are different, you're made this way, and you should be happy for it. You're blessed, actually. God blessed you and gave you this important duty. Live up to that image. Live up for Him, and don't be sad that you're lonely or that you feel out of place, because that's exactly where you're meant to be. God gave you this duty, okay? So don't worry about feeling out of place. I'm gonna read from the Bible here, Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 to 16. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So don't be afraid of showing the light for others. You are the light of the world. You're meant to be different. You're meant to not be belonged. Embrace this feeling, okay? Because it's given to you by God, and it's a blessing. I'm gonna read another one. Matthew 5, verse 1 to 12. Seeing the crowds, He went up on the mountain, and when He sat down, His disciples came to Him, and He opened His mouth, and He taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are those pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when others revile and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil things against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Let these two verses ring in your ears and comfort you whenever you feel lonely or out of place. Because just as you feel persecuted, just as you feel lonely, just as you feel out of place and you're made fun of or you're bullied or whatever, you're blessed because your reward will be great in heaven. Because just as you are being persecuted right now, the prophets before you were persecuted. So this is a blessing, I tell you truly. It's a blessing to feel out of place, to feel lonely, because you are here for a purpose, to show the others the light. So embrace that, accept the challenge given to you by God, and then all of this loneliness and hardship that you're going through is gonna be so much more bearable. You're gonna be able to go through it. This is something I learned recently, and it really helped me, and I really wanted to help you, okay? So lastly, okay, we now have tackled the thing of finding out that you're on self-improvement. People will find out and it's gonna be fine. You're not gonna be judged. And the practical advice is to just do the thing which, like, just do the thing anyway, like without any expectations or afraid of being judged. And you realize that there's no reason to be ashamed of yourself, and that being lonely is actually a blessing. But you still have this self-image thing that you feel like you have this low self-image of yourself, maybe you have. And what I can tell you is that self-image is mostly this, it's an effect of the things you're thought, like the things you're thinking, like your beliefs, and also the actions. We've talked about the beliefs, which I told you just now, and hopefully this will change how you see the world and it will help you. But there's still the actions you need to take. What actions can you do to improve your self-image? And what I'm gonna say is this. My advice is to do the thing which God tells you. Don't do it for anyone else, because then it's influenced by the devil. I will read from Matthew 6:20, chapter 6, 25, verse 2-34. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grows. They do not labor or spin, yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So do not worry about the actions you're going to do. What should you do? But seek first the kingdom of heaven, and everything else will fall into place according to God's plan. Everything will be given to you if you first seek the kingdom of heaven. So how can you apply this to fitness? You do the type of exercise which you truly enjoy. You don't do it because it's cool or because of the results. You do it because you love it. Because then you're gonna be in a flow state and you're just gonna not burn out. This is what I started doing with table tennis. I used to play that when I was younger. I loved it. I quit because it wasn't cool. Now I started again because I love it and I can do for over 2 hours, just keep giving it my all and just feel great during this time, just be in this flow state. And like I can do so much more and I don't need to recover because moving my body in that way just makes me feel amazing. So just get creative, just do any type of movement which you enjoy. You don't need to go to the gym and follow a specific training routine to get these results. All you need is to do the thing which you love. Any movement, climbing, table tennis, football, working out, running, whatever it is that you truly enjoy, just do that and don't worry about anything else because then it's just influenced by Satan, by the devil. He has the grasp on you. So don't worry about that. Just do the thing which you actually love to do because it's through love which great things happen, okay? And how can we apply this to like the clothes you're going to wear? You buy the type of style which you actually like, which you feel comfortable wearing. You don't buy clothes to dress up, to feel like you're this person trying to be someone else. No, because then you're just gonna feel rigid, you're just gonna feel out of place and not comfortable in your own body. And people will see that and you're just gonna think like, who's this guy trying to be? And you're gonna think that as well. So just dress in the way which you actually enjoy, and because then you're not trying to be anyone else that you're not. That's what it's about. God made you this way and you're not supposed to go do something else. If you love to play table tennis, go play table tennis. If you love to dress this way, dress this way. Don't worry about it, okay? You're not gonna gain anything else by trying to be someone else, wishing that you were this guy, had these things. Just be yourself, and then you're not gonna be afraid anymore of people finding out that you're on self-improvement. Okay? Like if you just are yourself, if you do the things which God tells you to do without holding back, as soon as you get a realization from God to do this thing, He tells you to do this, you're blessed. Listen to it. Go ahead and do that. And don't worry about trying to fit in, trying to belong. You are exactly where God needs you to be right now. I really hope this can be helpful. It has really been for me to write this down and to record this video. I'm really gonna take this to heart and try to live by this. And if this was helpful for you, then you can leave a like, you can leave a comment saying how this helped you. You can share this video to anyone who you think this will help, because I really just pray that this video will find someone who really needs to hear this, okay? Because someone needs to hear this. I really believe that, and I really hope that this will be shown to that person and that maybe that's you and that you will gain something out of this. So don't be afraid of who you are. Don't be afraid because you're self-improvement, because you're a Christian, because you try to follow God. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And thanks for listening to this video, and I will see you in the next one.